We are kicking off today with AEW Dynamite as the show kicked off with the new TBS champion Mercedes Mone basking in her title victory. After winning the gold at Double or Nothing, Mone praised Willow Nightingale for giving her the fight of her life, but said that the former champion is far too nice. That's why, according to Mone, Willow didn't see Kris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway's Betrayal coming, but her segment was interrupted by Skye Blue. On the Titantron, Blue revealed that she was the woman who attacked Mone a few weeks ago before blindsiding the TBS champion in the ring and setting up Mone's first title match. Later in the show, Mone put her TBS title on the line against Blue, and as the show went into a commercial break, it was Blue who had the upper hand. In the end though, Stephanie Vacker, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, appeared and posed on the stage, and it appears that a match between the two will come at Forbidden Door. As for the Blue match, this was fine, but you could also see a lack of chemistry at times, and it would have been smarter to advertise Mone's first TV match in advance. One also has to question setting up the angle of Mone being attacked to just have the reveal lead to essentially a throwaway match with no build, no matter how entertaining it was. But what did you think of the match, and are you excited at the prospect of the TBS champion and NJPW Strong Women's champion facing off? Sound off in the comments. Dynamite also saw the Elite come out and confirm Adam Copeland's injury from Forbidden Door and revealed that the Rated R superstar had been stripped of the TNT Championship. The group were ready to award the gold to Jack Perry, but Christopher Daniels came out and revealed that he had been hired by Tony Khan as an interim EVP. Daniels said the title had to be earned, but Perry would get his chance in a qualifying match to wrestle for the belt at Forbidden Door, and the new champion will be decided in a ladder match. The Acclaimed came out to back up Daniels against the might of the Elite, and who do you hope to see become the next AEW TNT champion at next month's pay-per-view? As promoted ahead of AEW Dynamite, the show saw a Casino Gauntlet match go down with the victor earning an AEW World Championship match at Forbidden Door. Jay White and Pac kicked off the match in a spectacular fashion before being joined by CMLL's Místico, and after him, it was the turn of the new AEW International Champion, Will Ospreay. New Japan's Shota Umino entered the fray, but the field was dominated with the arrival of Claudio Castagnoli, who laid out everyone with his swing. Lio Rush, AEW's Orange Cassidy, and Hechicero would soon join the match, but as the show went in overtime, Will Ospreay pinned Orange Cassidy to win the title shot. This kind of bout is designed to be more chaotic as it goes, but the competitors did a good job making sure the action was easy to follow, even when there were a lot of people in the ring. After the match, Swerve Strickland came out and confronted the man he'll face at Forbidden Door, and was Ospreay the right choice? Let us know down in the comments section. On this week's NXT, rapper Sexyy Red was a part of the show, and in addition to revealing the North American Women's title, appeared alongside Trick Williams. It's no secret that Red is a big wrestling fan, and had been tweeting about NXT long before her appearance, and fans may be seeing much more of her on the Gold brand. According to Fightful Select, Sexyy Red was praised by those who worked with her, stating that she was easy to work with, and that she is expected to make more appearances. Her involvement with NXT was compared to the role of the singer Poppy, who has made several appearances for NXT in the past. Sexyy Red will be the host of WWE NXT Battleground in just over 2 weeks, and will likely have a lot to do at the show, and expect to see her much more after the upcoming PLE. This week's WWE NXT was certainly a show to remember, as the event saw appearances by Jordynne Grace and Ethan Page, but things were very chaotic backstage. Fightful Select reports that this chaos was due to several crew members arriving early on Tuesday, causing nerves to be frayed by the time the show went live. Despite this, the May 28th edition of NXT was one of the most exciting shows we've seen this month, and fans are excited to see what's to come on the road to NXT Battleground. After Jordynne Grace's appearance on this week's NXT, it was reported that some WWE names could soon be appearing on TNA programming, but it's unclear who exactly that will be. It is expected that names from NXT will make appearances, including perhaps Roxanne Perez, but now Drew McIntyre has his sights set on a return to TNA. On Twitter, the Scottish Warrior said the proverbial Forbidden Door opens both ways and shared a photo of himself during his reign as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre certainly did big things for TNA before leaving, which came shortly before his return to WWE in 2017, where he has gone on to become one of the company's top stars. Drew's comment caught the attention of reigning TNA World Heavyweight Champion Moose, who said that if Drew wants a title shot, he should have his boss call Moose's boss. Moose added that the result will be the same, as he had previously defeated Drew in title action before and told Drew to trust the system, the name of Moose's current faction in TNA. As to whether Drew will appear for TNA, time will tell, but the mere notion that this is a possibility only further shows just how much WWE has changed in this new era. No matter what comes through the Forbidden Door next, we know that Jordynne Grace will challenge Roxanne Perez at Battleground, and this news was a surprise to the Prodigy. According to a report by Fightful Select, Roxanne Perez was genuinely surprised by the announcement, as she had requested not to be told of her opponent beforehand. As for Grace, Fightful says that her Battleground match is part of a contractual arrangement between her and NXT, ensuring a minimum of 3 appearances for the Gold brand. These appearances include her reveal this week, next week's match with Stevie Turner, and the title match with Perez, but there could always be more added to this current deal. Grace will certainly be open to appearing more for NXT, as it's reported that her pay for these 3 appearances is said to be at least 6 figures. Grace has also launched a new shirt, which shows her stepping through a prohibited portal, and who knows if we'll see more of her and other TNA stars on NXT in the coming weeks. One thing fans didn't see this week on NXT was the development of the angle between Ariana Grace and Gigi Dolan, as Grace has been trying to make Gigi a proper lady. Dolan has been subjected to Grace's efforts after losing a match to the second-generation superstar, but fans shouldn't expect this storyline to receive a conclusion. According to Fightful Select, Gigi Dolan was not backstage at the tapings for NXT this week, and the angle has been dropped, and it's not been confirmed why the angle has been nixed. As for Ariana Grace, she squared off against Lola Vice and lost the match on this week's NXT, and Dolan was nowhere to be seen. This news will come as a blow to fans who have enjoyed the dynamic between the comical Grace and the serious Dolan, and hopefully we'll find out why this story has been dropped. More from AEW Dynamite now, as going into the show, fans were wondering why exactly Kris Statlander betrayed Willow Nightingale at Double or Nothing last week. On Dynamite, Statlander, alongside Stokely Hathaway, first came out to announce Trent Beretta as the newest member of the Don Callis family, as he blindsided Orange Cassidy. As Renee Paquette announced that Cassidy was being evaluated, Stokely and Kris interrupted to explain their actions from Double or Nothing. Hathaway took fans back 4 weeks earlier when Willow became the #1 contender for the TBS title in a 4-way match that also included Statlander. Stokely claimed that Willow did not listen to Kris's desire to be a champion, while Statlander labeled her as selfish, and this led to the duo betraying Willow at Double or Nothing. Now Willow and Hathaway are expected to feud, but do you think this reasoning stands up? Let us know down in the comments section. In the opening match of the night, Swerve Strickland took on Killswitch just 3 days after defeating Christian Cage to retain the AEW World title at Double or Nothing. The powerhouse used his strength to dominate most of the action before the break, and a ringside attack saw Killswitch use the steel steps and barricade. Swerve began to make a comeback when we returned, and the issue was that not only is Killswitch not seen as a realistic threat, but he didn't have the patriarchy for support. Prince Nana stopped Killswitch from using a chair, and a few minutes later, Strickland defeated him with the house call in a match that was only ever going to go one way. Swerve cut off some of his opponent's hair after the match to get revenge for Killswitch pulling out one of his dreadlocks a few weeks ago to end the fun, albeit predictable, segment. Big Bill introduced Chris Jericho for the debut episode of TV Time, and Jericho pretended everyone loved him before bringing out Brian Keith. The bounty hunter, who aided Jericho in the FTW Triple Threat title match last Sunday, chastised fans for not respecting Jericho before the arrival of Hook. Samoa Joe stopped Hook from going to the ring and whispered something in his ear, leading to Hook following him to the back, so we may see these two working together moving forward. Next up was Jon Moxley taking on Rocky Romero in an IWGP Championship Eliminator match, and Mox's left arm was heavily wrapped, selling the effects of last week's match with Takeshita. The IWGP champion did a great job selling by keeping his left arm down and only using his right whenever he had a chance, which gave Romero the chance to take control. Even with Moxley's limited arsenal due to his arm, this ended up being a competitive bout with a quick pace and great sequences, and Moxley scored the win, but was favoring his arm quite a bit. It's always good to see Moxley in the ring, but after defeating Takeshita at Double or Nothing and Rocky Romero last night, it remains to be seen who will actually receive a title opportunity. And that was this week's Dynamite, and despite a couple of highlights, this felt like something of a lackluster show considering the fantastic Double or Nothing event. No promo from the returning MJF certainly didn't help matters, and while the Casino Gauntlet could have gone many ways, the results for the majority of matches were wholly predictable. The best thing on the show was the Casino Gauntlet, not only because of the entertaining moments, but because it included non-AEW talent who were over with the AEW crowd. Now all attention will turn towards Forbidden Door next month, but what did you make of this week's AEW Dynamite? Let us know down in the comments. Back to NXT, and as we mentioned earlier, Ethan Page appeared on the show in the closing moments by attacking NXT champion Trick Williams. Page revealed that he was responsible for the attacks on Metaphor many blamed Trick for, and it was reported after the show that Page is indeed under a WWE contract. Taking to Twitter though, Page claimed in a video that he is not signed to any contract or company, and said that Trick will no doubt want to get revenge on him. With that in mind, Page said that the ball is in NXT's court to make him an offer, and said that he's waiting for a call from somebody high up in WWE. Given the reports that the All Ego talent has signed with WWE, this video could just be for a storyline, and fans can certainly expect to see more of Page on the road to NXT Battleground. In just a matter of days, Becky Lynch's contract with WWE will expire, and while talks are ongoing, it is believed that she will not sign a new deal before the June 1st expiration date. For the first time since 2013, Lynch will be a free agent, and unsurprisingly, there's no shortage of fans who are interested to see the man in AEW. In a recent interview with TMZ Sports, Chris Jericho was asked about Becky Lynch, and while he couldn't confirm any plans, the FTW champion was pleased there was an option besides WWE. 5 years ago, Becky would have no other options. I'm not saying that she's coming, but there is an option, and who knows what could happen. No one thought that Jericho would come to AEW, no one thought that Moxley would come, or Bryan Danielson, or Adam Cole, or any of these guys that have come over. So it's exciting for the fans. It's exciting for the wrestlers, the talent, because now suddenly if there's a bidding war, that just benefits us. So I think it's very important. The topic of Lynch coming to AEW was also brought up to Tony Khan when he appeared on The Rich Eisen Show, but the AEW president wasn't ready to discuss the ex-women's champion. Khan doesn't want to be part of any contract tampering, and until Lynch is officially a free agent, he won't be discussing her joining AEW, but did add that she is a great star. Lynch has reportedly been telling people she won't be going to AEW anytime soon, and those in WWE are hopeful that a new deal with Becky will be reached when the time is right. Well, what do you think the Irish superstar should do? Is it an inevitability that she'll return to WWE, or should she shock fans by becoming All Elite? Give your thoughts in the comments. Ahead of this week's Dynamite, it was announced that Saraya would be facing Mariah May in the former Women's World Champion's first singles match since December of last year. If you watched Dynamite though, you'll know this match did not happen, and that may have proven to be quite the issue for the British wrestler. Instead of that match, fans got the Skye Blue vs Mercedes Mone match, and it was announced on the broadcast that Saraya vs May would take place next week. On Twitter, Saraya shared a cryptic message that she was about to start really speaking my mind, and while this was deleted, screenshots of the tweet remain online. Many suspect this was in response to her match being postponed, especially as the video from AEW Control Center announcing the match with May has since gone private. Saraya vs May should happen next week, but fans may not want to put too much stake in that, and it remains to be seen if the former champion does indeed speak her mind about this matter. Saraya is the latest AEW star to see a massive change to their plans on very short notice, but she is by no means the only All Elite talent to experience this. On the F4W Online forum, Brian Alvarez shared that Tony Khan switched the script multiple times for AEW Double or Nothing during the afternoon the show was going to happen. This chaotic behavior had also been the case in the days running up to Double or Nothing, as most people had no idea what they were doing until the day of the show. Some plans weren't officially confirmed until an hour or so before the pay-per-view went on the air, and this understandably led to a lot of confusion behind the scenes. Some people were flown to the show and given nothing to do, while others were begged the day before the event to get to Nevada as soon as they could to do something last minute. While Khan reportedly has long-term plans for AEW pay-per-views, the company's television shows are written just days in advance, and Khan's conduct backstage has also changed. Though he was once easy to reach, it is said that most people now have difficulty getting in touch with Khan, which has led to talks about his conduct within the promotion. Tony Khan will ultimately run AEW how he sees fit, as is his right as the owner, but his last-minute changes has led to plenty of issues right now in the All Elite company. At Double or Nothing, MJF made his long-awaited return to AEW programming, and while many hoped to see him, his comeback was not leaked in advance. Fightful Select reports that AEW had MJF fly to Phoenix rather than Las Vegas, and he was driven the rest of the way to avoid fans seeing him in Vegas near Double or Nothing. Despite efforts, MJF was spotted by a fan on the plane, leading to precautions such as being brought into the arena in a wheelchair, covered up to prevent anyone from seeing him. While some may have wanted MJF's return, AEW were able to keep it a surprise, and now fans can expect to see much more of the former world champion on TV. And we're ending today with Roman Reigns, who hasn't been seen on WWE TV since his 1,316-day reign as Universal Champion was ended by Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. Questions remain as to when Reigns will next appear on programming, but recently the Tribal Chief was spotted back in the gym preparing for his return. On Instagram, Kai Green shared footage of the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion's workout, accompanied with a message about believing in yourself. There has been no confirmation as to when Reigns will be back, but it's been reported that WWE has no major plans for Rhodes' title reign until Reigns and The Rock return. Until that day, Reigns will continue working out and working on his non-WWE projects, but expect the former champion to be focused on gold once more when he's back on TV.